Yeah, baby. Yeah. All right. How you doing, folks? Ron Raymond here from the Raymond Report for a Thursday. Thursday. It is February 9th. Hope you have yourself a good start to your Thursdays. As always, don't forget, subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right-hand corner, or hit the subscribe button below this video if you're using a mobile device. Today's podcast is brought to you by the ATScalculator.com. Check it out today, ATScalculator.com. If you want to see what the forecast is on tonight's game between Milwaukee and the LA Lakers, put in Milwaukee, LA Lakers, create the result, and you can see we got the Bucks winning tonight, 5.63, 232 is the total, and that's how the ATS calculator works, and you can test it on the demo right here at atscalculator.com. Don't forget, you can try out the hockeypicks.com website, follow the top hockey pickers each and every day right here at hockeypicks.com, and let's see who the top scorers are right now, and you can see Canuck Down Under, Roy Bashnik, 745 points, Wayne Ramsden at 739, and there's Mags at 689, along with Mike Anthony at Proline. Those are your top hockey pickers today at hockeypicks.com. All right, good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Welcome to the Raymond Report. My name is Ron Raymond, a 5-time sports handicapper champion based out of Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. A little cloudy here today in the nation's capital. Nice and not too cold. Hey, not too cold. It's not Florida weather, but it is February 9th, and it is Canada, so it's going to be a little bit nippy. I think it's like minus what here today? Minus this morning. It was let me see here on the old weather, -4, and they're calling for freezing rain, so that's a lot of fun, right? But yeah, so we are live here, and we're every Thursday we do a we used to do it every day. Now it's every Thursday. Last weekend I had an engagement, I had to attend something, so I wasn't able to be on the show last week, but this week we'll have Ross the Boss Benjamin join us at the top of the hour at 11 o'clock, and Ross is going to talk about Super Bowl props. Yeah, Ross likes a couple of the props on this Sunday's game between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. I'll give you my pick on the game and tell you who I like, and we'll get that in just a few minutes. All right, I see John X. Good morning, John. Hopefully you're having yourself a good start to your day. And again, if you interested in looking at the Raymond Report, we do have the free Raymond Report Lite version. When you go to the website, go to NHL, NBA, NFL, you'll see free NFL stats, and you can get the light version of the Raymond Report. And this is one of the top features on the website. When I look at the data on the website, this here is, along with the NBA free stats, are the most popular features on the website. And what's good about this is it's a top 25 sports betting market options that we give you each and every day. And every day it changes, right? It all depends. It's like the stock market. What goes up must come down. And right now, today, and look at all the C-type teams that are your top sports betting options. C-type teams mean teams below 500, and they are in the top 5 right now. Only Seattle in 6th spot. Don't have an A yet. Okay, there we go. One A-type team in the top 10, and it's the Denver Nuggets at Orlando. So yeah, check it out, atsstats.com. This is the top 25 sports betting market, and if you want to separate the sports, say you want just NBA, you go to the pull down menu. If you want NHL, it'll just give you all the NHL menu right there. And then you can see the top sports betting options each and every day. But again, the free NBA stats, if you go to NBA, free NBA stats, you can see the all the matchups are there. And again, if you scroll down to the bottom, this is the part that a lot of people like, is the stats and trends, right? I got a good one here on the Bucks tonight. Anytime they're a road team during the month of February and they scored 120 or more points in their last game, 18-4-1 against the number, and that is the Raymond Report light version right here at ATSstats.com. All right, gonna give a shout out to my good friend Gloria K, because she's a
put that coffee down.
Coffees for closers, and Gloria K going through a bit of a little health issue right there, and hopefully, Gloria, like I said last night, we're all sending you best wishes and a hug, and hopefully you get better soon, because the show is always better with Gloria K in the house. Hey Ron, I noticed a change on Cal chance of winning on the percentage. Can you put it back to the previous percentage? I'm not sure what you mean by that. The previous change on the percentage play. You'll have to send me a link or let me know what feature you're talking about. On the, I noticed on the Cal chance of winning. Are you talking on the Raymond Report? I don't think we've changed anything of that. Let me see here. If I go to the Raymond Report, oh, are you talking about the free or the members area one? Because what we did is we just made the Cal, because what was happening is when you went to, like, say if you go Atlanta and Phoenix, it was 66 and 30. But then when you go to the free Raymond Report, it was showing like the old version of it, right? So it wasn't really given the proper look of, like, we had the old system. I think that's what you're talking about right now, Atlanta and Phoenix, and yeah, 66 and 30. But yeah, no, I don't think I can put it back, John. It's just we got to keep everything in sync, and I don't know why was it better percentage wise, or was it doing a little bit better? I'll have to talk to the programmers. 36 and 41% right there. All right, so let's get on with the show, and as we do each and every day, we're gonna go and feed some ponies. Load them up. Yeah, they're off and running. Off and running today at Gulfstream Park in Hallandale Beach, California. Hollywood. I was just there about a month ago at Gulfstream Park, and yeah, it was a great time. Today in race number 1 today at Gulfstream, it's a $12,500 maiden claiming race, 12:10 post time, 5.5 furlongs on the dirt. And in race number 1, we're going to recommend 4-8-10 in race number 1 today at Gulfstream Park. The number 4 horse, 7-2 morning line on Frosted Faith, with Jose Ortiz in the saddle on Frosted Faith. The number 8 horse, Queen de la Creme, with my guy Luis Saez in the saddle. Luis won me some money when I was at Hallandale at Gulfstream Park there a month ago. So yeah, I always remember the people make you money, right? Luis Saez made me money that day. 6-1 morning line today on the 8 horse Queen de la Creme. The number 10 horse Gold Bullion, Leon in French, but Edgar Perez, I think it's Edgar Perez on the number 10 horse, 8-1 morning line. And the number 7 horse, that's our Joker's Wild, that's our long shot today at 20-1 Rock Solid Words, with JM Rios in the saddle on Rock Solid Words. And if I were to play this one here today, obviously I'm going to go to my guy Luis Saez, Queen de la Creme. And you know what, 6-1 morning line is not too bad on Luis. And what I would do is I'd recommend, if you got a $10 budget, put 5 to win, 5 to place. Or if you got a $20 budget per race, put 10 to win, 10 to place on the number 8 horse Queen de la Creme, and 6-1 morning line. And if he comes in first, you get paid twice. Comes in second, you get paid once. Also nice. And hopefully Queen de la Creme will win you some money here today. Hello folks, I'm amped to be back. F for Fantastics in the house. How you doing there, F? Hopefully you have yourself a good start to your day. Hopefully you're in the winner's circle and you're making it to Cash Out Monday each and every day. And you're listening to the Raymond Report. We're live here every Thursday on the report. And if you missed the show live, you can always check the replay on our YouTube channel or right here at ATSstats.com. All right, let's get to the next thing on the agenda, and the top 10 sports betting, the golden rules of sports betting. Yeah, let's talk about the golden rules of sports betting. Oh, I forgot my top 10 commandments. The Raymond Report fundamentals are based on value, percentage play, performance cycles, player availability, and we use a money management system, which you can get here at the Raymond Report when you use the When you go to tools and go to the report card, and I'll show you that in just 1 second. Today on the show, you're going to hear me talk about teams that are A, B, and C type teams in the Raymond Report. Teams that are A type teams are teams with a 60 or higher win percentage. B type teams, those are teams that are 50 to 59.9, and C type teams, those are teams with a 49.9 or lower win percentage. And so that is that's the Raymond Report grading system that we do with our teams. Teams that are bullish in the NBA, those are teams that are 7-0, 6-1, 5-2 in their last 7 games. Teams that are neutral, 3-4, 4-3, and teams that are bearish, those are teams that are 0-7, 1-6, 2-5 in their last 7 games. And that's how I track the cycles in the last 7 in the MLB, NHL, NBA, and that's how I do it. Speaking of MLB, hey, pitchers and catchers reporting very shortly, probably there now, but before you know it, we'll be talking about the Blue Jays, right, Bo Jackson? Hey, Ronald, Elliott, F. The Cow had a good system when it was previous percentage. Ready to rock with Ron on the Raymond Report. Yeah, let's rock it. All right, let's talk about the top 10 sports betting rules here at the Raymond Report. Thou shalt not bet big money on C-type teams in the Raymond Report. Nope. If you're going to bet on those C-type teams below 500, I always recommend beer and pizza money on those teams. Never lay points, take the points, or bet the money line when you can, or the over-under. I don't like laying -9, -7. I'd rather pass on some of those games, but if the money line is in my range, then I'll consider it. Create your own number like you do with the ATS calculator. It's your number against the bookmaker's number. Always remember that. Follow a disciplined money management system. It's always good to have a money management system, and I'll show you that in just a few minutes. Never force a pick because you need action on the game. No, you don't do that, right, Denis the goalie?
No, you don't do that.
You don't do that.
Oh, no, never.
Why not?
Why not?
Against the rules.
Against the rules to force a pick. Never chase losing bets on a bad day. Bet with your wallet, not your heart. Yeah, don't be chasing butterflies, as I always say. NHL home favorites coming off a 1-goal loss. You know what? Let's take a look at that right now. That's been one of my favorites, and I saw it a couple weeks ago. It was doing the 2-goal loss has been doing really well. And normally, let me see here. Let's go to the dashboard. Let's go to the super database. Let's go take a look at those NHL home favorites coming off we'll do a 1-goal loss, and then we'll do a 2-goal loss. I think I'll update this every week just so we have an idea of what they're doing. All right, coming off a 1-goal loss, current season. Let's see what the old survey says. Current saison. All right, and then we're going to create the report right here. And okay, how come that's not showing up right now? Oh, so we got a little a snafu here. Well, we got a snafu in the system. Okay, I'm gonna have to talk to the programmer about that. How about 2-goal loss? How about a 2-goal loss? Yeah, 35-14. Pretty good. Hey, 35-14. But how come we can't get the? Let me do home teams. Then it's not. 50. Wow, look at this. Home teams coming off a 1-goal loss, 52-26. Let's see what the old percentage play on that is. 52, and that would be what, 78. So 52 divided by 78. Wow, 66%. That's pretty good in my books. And what about just favorites? Can I get just the favorites? Oh, that's a 2-goal loss. Hang on here. Let's do 1-goal loss. Let's do home teams. Okay, that's not as great. 86 and 82. But let me see. Home teams coming off a 2-goal loss. And, we talked about this a couple times on the show. Ever since these coaches play the percentage play of, in the last 2 minutes of a game. Like, back in the day, sound like back in the day when they invented sliced bread, eh? No, back say about 10-15 years ago, coaches would never pull the goalie with 2 minutes left. It'd always be like the last minute. It's just like the last couple of years, the analytics would tell you that you should pull the goalie with 2 minutes. And I've seen some teams pull with 3 and 4 minutes. I've seen teams down by 3 pull with 5 minutes. Hey, whatever. Lose by 3, lose by 4. What's the difference, right? But home teams losing on a 2-goal loss, pretty good. 52-26. And what did we say that was? 66%. And that's not bad. What about road teams, away teams coming off a 2-goal loss? Wow, yeah, obviously the other way. Wow, not too good. So away teams coming off a 2-goal loss. Look at that, 28-51. So yeah, home team is where you want to go. How about favorites? Favorites coming off a 2-goal loss, 47-25. No, home cooking. That's where you want to lean. Home teams coming off a 2-goal loss, 52-26. How about, do I got 3-goal loss or more? Let's do a 2 or more goal loss. Let's try that. 128. No. So yeah, 2-goal loss is the number you want to get. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. So yeah. So hey, see, it's always good to look at the thou shalt not top 10 commandments, right? Never bet against A-type teams who are bullish at home. I'll have to show that to Ross, see what he says about that. Never bet against A-type teams who are bullish at home. No, you don't do that.
No, you don't do that.
24-hour rule of betting. Take a day off after a big win. Enjoy the win, because you know what? You just never know when you're going to get that next big win. Never, don't do that. LOL. Ready to rock, yeah. And never bet against a team who's in a bearish cycles. And those are your top 10 commandments of sports betting. All right, you can get this by going to the website, atsstats.com. Go to tools, go to report card. Actually, golden sports betting, rules of sports betting. See, when you do it once a week, you get rusty. I feel rusty when I was doing it every day, I felt like a seasoned vet. Now I only go once a week. I feel like I'm a rookie. I feel like I'm a rookie in the captain's chair here. All right, let's go to the report card, and let's take a look at what I was talking to you guys about, the money management system. And right down here, bet the units. So in the Raymond Report, what I do, when you go to the report card here at the Raymond Report, you can see that I have, this is, again, I got this idea from one of our users, and he says, you know what, I've been using this tool, and it just less is more, right? My philosophy in sports betting is less is more. And when you get all the analytics, let's say if I go to the Raymond Report, and the thing in the Raymond Report, it's a lot of information, but if you know how to use this this report, and you just, what's the old adage in the saying of GIGO, garbage in, garbage out? But in this case, it's saying garbage, so, hey, or information in, information out, information I-O. That doesn't sound as good as GIGO, right? But this, I find the top part very useful, but I find this part right here, basically a lot of my decision making comes down to this, the meat and potatoes right here, right? Season record, home records, how they do against that team in this situation, home or away, how every NBA team does on days rest, either like, for example, the Lakers tonight, they're a 3.5 to 6 point home dog. They're playing on 1 day's rest. And normally the Lakers in this spot this year, they're 1-5 straight up and against the number on 1 day's rest when they're 3.5 to 6 point home dog. But the Bucks, not a lot of occurrence, only once. But if you look at the NBA average, any NBA team that's playing on 2 days rest, they're 3.5 to 6 point home favorite. You can see right there, they're 6-7 straight up, 5-7-1 against the number, 7-5-1 to the over. And if you scroll right down, you get the last 10 games. You also get the last 7 head-to-head meetings. So the last time these two teams played was December 2nd, and the Lakers won 133-129, and that game was in Milwaukee. So Lakers had their numbers that night, and you can see here, any team coming off a 19-point win this year, 6-3-1 for the road team. The road team in this spot will be Milwaukee, and the over is hit 60%. So any road team coming off a 19-point win like the Bucks did in their last game, and their last game was a 127-108 victory over Portland. You can see the over in the league has done pretty well for 60%. And let me see any other before playing the Clippers. Any team this year in the NBA before playing the Clippers are on the road, 22-12-1 to the over. Hey, analytics, baby. That's what we got here at atsstats.com. And for the Lakers, yeah, I don't know. Coming off a loss over a Western Northwest Division opponent. So home teams coming off a loss over a Western Northwest Division opponent. 42-24-1 against the number. And those are the, but again, like I was saying earlier, these are all the stats and trends you get here each and every day with the Raymond Report. And, but back to the report card. This is also, like I said, if you want a snapshot of every game going in tonight, we give you the CAL, which stands for chances of winning, the forecast. We got the computer forecast. Now, yesterday I was thinking about this, and I had some questions. I was emailing clients, and the forecast. And I bet this would be a good topic at a conference with a lot of handicappers. Anytime any handicapper or people crunching numbers, the forecast is always going to favor the favorites. No matter what, it's just, that's why they're favorites, right? Like the bookmakers are giving you who they think is going to win the game. Without even thinking about it, the bookmaker here tonight are telling you right off the bat, even though Denver is playing at Orlando, this -5.5 is like, this is who we think they're going to win tonight, right? So when you think about it, the bookmaker, they're making picks already. They're telling you we think Denver's going to win by 5.5. So on a straight up factor, you got to see how they're doing. If you want to see how the bookmakers are doing, go to the dashboard. And I forgot to start off with this here. Go to SBI, the sports betting index, and on the season, favorites are 62.8%. So what does that tell you? The bookmakers, when they've labeled the favorites, the teams the favorites, that tells me the bookmakers their pick record is 62.8% on the season, because they're telling you who they have as the favorite, and that's what the favorites have done this year, 62.8. So, is that a good job? Yeah, pretty good, because they say in sports betting, if you can hit like 56% or higher, then you can make a profit. But some people can say it's as low as 50. I think I've heard 53 or 54. But there's a range where you can start making a profit. But when you think about it, if you're hitting 56%, how much of a big profit are you really making, right? But it all depends on the system that you cater to, right? And this is why, I say it all the time. Mike Tyson said it best. Everybody has a game plan till they get punched in the mouth, right? And if your bookmaker punches you in the mouth each and every day, and I've been doing this for 27 years now. This is my 27th season. And, hey, I've had good years. I've had bad years. Like the last couple of years in football, it's just, and I was, me and Mrs. Coach, when we go on our daily walks each and every day, I said, I've never seen sports right now, and I'm sure you guys will agree with me, the parity in sports betting today compared to like 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago. Like, I bet you if you did a record, say 70% of parity of favorites winning to today, like there's a slope going right down. I've never seen the sports so balanced of all sports. Like this just in, sports betting is getting harder and harder. And this is why, if you don't have a game plan, and you can't, as much as you want to bet every day, if you're betting every day and you're making money, man, you got the best rabbit's foot in going, because it's tough to do this on a grind and win a consistent basis, right? Like if I look at my picks over the last 25 picks, and if I go over here, let's say my last 10 picks, right? So I get 1, 2, let me see here. I think I'm, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 60% in my last 10 hits, right? So that's pretty good when it comes to your premium picks. But these are my premium picks. But in my free picks, I'm sure you guys can agree, the premium pick, the free picks this year that I post in here have been pretty good. They've been pretty good. They've been they've been winning, and I've had proud to say I've had more winning days than losing days, which is the objective of being a handicapper, right? Hey, don't need to be a rocket scientist to know that. But just going back to the parity of sports, it is very, very tough. And here's the proof in the pudding right here. When you look at the NBA, check this out. In the last 7 days, 68.9% of the favorites have been winning straight up, and 62.8 on the season, right? And the 7-day average is the gauge I like to look at. I like to look at the 7-day average, 68.9% compared to 62.8. So you can see we got a 6% difference on the season average. But look at this right here. And this is where it gets tougher, right? When you look at the balance, and I talked about sports betting, 48.4%. So favorites are winning 62.8, but they're only covering 48.4%, as Randy Moss would say.
Straight cash.
No, it's not straight cash. Hey, that is not straight cash. The objective of sports betting is winning, right?
I want winners.
Yeah, I want winners too, Mike. And the thing is, it's very, very balanced when it comes to betting in the NBA, especially against the point spread. And this is why one of my favorite things to do when I'm recommending picks is that if I see a line within a certain range, and like I won't lay points, right? I won't lay like 3-4 points. I'd rather take the money line, or sometimes the best bet you make is the one you don't make, and that's one of my other golden rules, right? And if you what did I just say in the top 10 commandments of sports betting? Never force a pick because you need action on a game, right? You don't want to force a selection because you need action on a game. And if you're gonna make a pick, have a bankroll. And people who watch this show all the time, they know the difference when I talk about having your beer and pizza money account and then having your investment account, right? So that's one of the things that's very important. Now, looking at the NBA, the last couple of days, you can see here the favorites the last 3 days are on the run. And let's take a look at the NHL. Well, the NHL, they're coming off that All-Star break, so the data is going to be a little bit skewed here the last couple of days. Yeah, so let me see. So you can see the break right there, right? They had the All-Star break. So the last 3 days, last couple of days, 72% of the favorite. Look at the puck line, 61. I've been betting a lot of puck line. If you guys have been following, unfortunately last night we had Minnesota on the puck line. I like Dallas. I took Dallas on my hockey picks. I believe let me see here. How did I do yesterday? Yeah, Rangers and Dallas. I had Dallas, but I thought it'd be a 4-3, 3-2 type game. I had had Dallas on the. It's just the value. I thought there was a lot of value taking Minnesota, but yeah, just getting back to the report card here. This when you scroll down, you can see the forecast, the home and away records, and this is a good one. This is one of the tools that I like. Is that how do teams do against A, B, and C type teams, right? Teams above 60%, teams with a 50 to 59.9 record, and then teams below 500. So you can see Denver, when they play those C type teams like Orlando, 16-5 straight up. So, but 5.5 would be the money line on Orlando tonight. And the money line on the Orlando game is 235. You know what? And this is maybe a topic I'll talk about next week when that football will be over, is when you're looking at sports betting, and let's say you pick 10 games, any 10 games, right? You don't care about the line. If you can pick those 10 games straight up and then look at the money line, how many of those games will you actually really bet? Try this as a test. Take 10 games on any given night. Say there's 5 games in the NHL, 5 in the NBA. Just do the straight up factor, and now consider the money line. Would you lay minus 700? Of course not, right? And I'm telling you, it changes the way you look at sports betting in some aspects. But yeah, anyway, so right here, the value index, if a team is neutral, bearish, or bullish, and then I tell you what the VI, the value index on that game, and then how many units I would recommend wagering on those teams. And you go from 1 unit to 5 units and 0 units, right? Sometimes we'll have 0 units. All right, let me see if my good friend Ross the boss is in. Not just yet. Hey, Ross likes to come in on the big entrance, right at the top of the hour. Okay, that's okay. All right, let me see here. Let's go to, we got a little visitor here. All right, so let's talk about the market value index. So you can see the A, B, and C type teams. So let's take a look at the A type teams. And the only A type team, that team above 600, that is, as Joe Namath would say,
struggling, is
the Memphis Grizzlies. Yeah, the Memphis Grizzlies, only 2-5 straight up in their last 10 games, but they won their last game. Forget who it was. I think it was the Raptors or the who did the. Let me see here. Let's go to Memphis's last game, and let's see who they beat. This is going to be a fun couple of days with all the trade deadline going. Hey, Kevin Durant to the Phoenix Suns. How do you like that? All right, let me see here. Memphis. No, I don't have. Okay, Memphis not playing tonight. That's why there's not there. But let me see. The 8 teams. Where was I? There we go. Yeah, Memphis is the only bearish type team. And then you got Milwaukee and Cleveland, who are bullish. So of all the 8 type teams, Milwaukee and Cleveland are the bullish type teams. In the B type teams, look at that. Not one team that is bearish. So Dallas and Phoenix. Those are your two teams involved with big trades the last couple of days, so they're going to make a run. And then your C-type teams, your beer and pizza money type teams, not one team in the C-type teams are in the bullish cycle. So, and you expect that, right? When you bet on bad teams, you expect good things. That very rarely happens, and that's another one of the golden rules of sports betting. Let me see here. Let me just check to see. I got any more messages from Ross the Boss Benjamin. And Ross will be joining us here very shortly. Today, Ross gonna go over some of his Super Bowl props. I'm not a big prop bettor. I don't mind it. Put a couple of. I got one prop that I'm looking at, and I'll share it with you guys when we talk with Ross, and I'll see what Ross has for some Super Bowl props. In fact, you know what? I'll have that ready right now and pull these up and see if I can share these with some of you guys. All right, let me see here. Bring this up. I think I sent him the link. Not yet. All right. Well, top of the hour, he'll be tuning in. But yeah, couple of games here tonight. Let's see. Let me go back to the agenda right here. Horse race NBA standing. Okay, let's take a look at some of the standings before Ross gets on the show. All right, let's take a look at the NHL. Top teams in the NHL. Boston Bruins. Man, you know what? You got to give it to the Bees. They don't have like a McDavid or, but they're bullpen by committee. The Boston Bruins are bullpen by committee, and they play hard. They got 4 lines. They can roll 4 lines. Carolina, you know what? Not having at the beginning of the year, they weren't the greatest teams, but quietly 34-17. New Jersey had a little bit of a hiccup month of December. They're there. Tampa Bay, they're like the Rays, right? They're always there. 32-18. Winnipeg Jets, tucked away up there in Manitoba, but look at that, 32-20. Toronto, 31-21. They need Matthews back. Dallas doing a good job at 30-23. Vegas Golden Knight. Vegas been injured all year. Those guys have been injured all year. Edmonton's been underachieving. I find that Edmonton's been very underachieving all year. And then you got the Seattle Kraken, second-year expansion team, doing very, very well. And there's Ross the Boss Benjamin with his Buffalo Sabres hat. How you doing, Ross?
Hey, everything's good. My Sabres are hanging in there, talking about hockey. So,
yeah. No, the Sabres have been doing really well. And you know what? The Sabres, middle of the pack team, and if you get a lot of value on the Sabres.
Yeah, well, I mean, they entered the All-Star break just 1 point out of a playoff spot, but Pittsburgh has since won 2 in a row, but they got plenty of games in hand. And yeah, I mean, you can catch them at some pretty inviting underdog prices, and they're much better on the road than at home, Ron. So if you catch them on the road, most likely you're going to catch them in an underdog situation. So something to keep an eye on going forward.
Yeah, you know what? And since I got the NBA. We'll do NBA for just one quick sec. Like sure. when I look at these teams, right? When you look at Boston, Denver, like the NBA, Milwaukee, Philadelphia, these are all teams that come with a hefty price tag, right? It's like going in the showroom in a Porsche dealership and you see the prices right there, right? Yeah. They're going to be expensive. But of all the B type teams, like here, like there's teams like Golden State, reputation name teams, right? Even though they're not having a great year, but I look at some of these teams right here. New York. Let me see who else. Sacramento. I found the Western teams. I made a lot of money betting Western teams, but some of these teams here, you'll get them at some good value some nights. And I feel like, you got to pick your spots with these teams, right? And again, we're in this every day. We're grinding, but and I don't know about you. I'll speak for myself. Like I don't wager the same amount of units each and every day, but when I do get a team like Sacramento or let me see, Minnesota sometimes too. Like if I can get them at some really good underdog value, man, I'll pull the trigger.
Yeah, a team that a lot of people, it flies under the radar because their straight up record isn't very good. Let's put it that way. But Oklahoma City is a road underdog the last 3 seasons, including this one, have been terrific in that role. So another team to keep an eye on. I wouldn't put them in the same category that you do in terms of, let me go backwards there. I don't put them in that B type of category, but they're still a very good play against the spread as an underdog on the road.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think you can see. You see me when you do the show, right?
Right.
Yeah, unfortunately, you can't see the screen. I got to figure this out. But I'm looking at Oklahoma City Thunder right now. 35 and 19 against the point spread, and it could be like in a couple of pushes, but I don't track the pushes here.
Yeah, and a majority of those, I would say, come under the underdog role. So,
and here's the teams that have done very well: Utah Jazz against the point spread, Orlando Magic. Orlando, even though they're a C-type team, they seem to be always in close games. Yeah. Cavaliers, an A-type team. Pacers 30-26, Phoenix 30-26. Sacramento 30-24, and then the New York Knicks at 30-25. But yeah, great call on the Oklahoma City, and the
Cavs too, Ron. Jekyll and Hyde, really good at home, not so good on the road. Actually, in comparison to what their overall record is, they're not a good road team whatsoever. And if you can catch them in an overvalued spot on the road, another situation to take a look at going forward.
Yeah, and you know what? I thought it was Billy Donovan back in the day, but it's the Thunder. They've been a money making machine. But yeah.
So,
all right. Just one.
Keep an eye on these trades now, Ron. I mean, Kyrie Irving going to Dallas, going to be teaming up with Luka Doncic. Made his debut last night, scored 24 points in a road win, and Luka is set to return shortly. So that's something to take a look at. Kevin Durant now going to Phoenix. All of a sudden with Devin Booker, who's been on the shelf with an injury, he comes back. They're going to be much better than what they are right now. What am I missing? The other trades that have gone on, keep abreast of what's going on in terms of trades, and some teams will vastly improve as a result.
Yeah, Josh Hart to New York. That was a good one there. But and in hockey, Winnipeg, man, like it's just unbelievable. Tucked up there in the Manitoba, 32-20 on the year. Dallas Stars too. That's another team of my, small market teams, but doing very well. And I find like those small market teams, they don't get that heavy price tag, especially Winnipeg. They don't have a McDavid. They don't have a Crosby. They don't have that high marquee name that adds about $10 to the price, right?
Yeah,
yeah. So
it doesn't play in a real high profile market. Everybody and their mother will tell you that Winnipeg is the worst place to live in when it comes to excitement. Not to throw stones.
No, you know what? When I was in the military, and I had some buddies from Manitoba, and they had the best line. He goes, "The mosquito, the national bird of in Manitoba. They call the mosquito the national bird." Yeah, so that was kind of funny. All right, Ross, let's get to the big game, eh? The big game in Arizona, the Super Bowl, and you can see here this weekend, Kansas City. I'm seeing 2.5 at some places. Let me see what bookmaker has right now going to the game. 1.5, so -1.5. So going into this game, and I'm just gonna go back. I'm gonna go back a couple of months, and I'm just gonna talk about when remember in like say October, November, when we said, okay, who are the teams that people like, who's gonna come out of the AFC was so stacked with. We thought the Bills, right? We thought the Bills was going to be the team representing. We knew Kansas City, Cincinnati. Like we had a really good feel for the AFC, right? Everybody was saying, the Super Bowl is going to go through the AFC this year, and then the NFC, no one had a clue. Like no one really every week there was jockeying for then San Francisco made that trade, and then all of a sudden San Fran was one of the teams, but then the Eagles. Hey, consistent, doing a good job, and they just kept getting better and better and better. But going into this game this weekend, I know you want to talk about props, though, right? In this game,
yeah, we'll talk about the game too.
Yeah,
though. It's okay.
Okay, so so I'm going to tell you who I got, and I bought some points. I took Kansas City +3. It cost me like $159, and that's fine. But I just think that when you look at this game, and I looked at the past Super Bowls, I said, let's go back a couple of years and look at the quarterbacks in the last couple of Super Bowls, right? So you look at last year, you had the Rams in Cincinnati, Burrow, and you had what's his name, Stafford last year. Prior to that, you had Kansas City, Tampa Bay. Hey, those are two good quarterbacks right there, in Brady and Mahomes. And then you had Garoppolo against Mahomes. Then you had Brady with Jared Goff. And then you had the Eagles. I think that was Knowles, right? Foles. Nick Foles. Yeah. And then, Matty Ice. And now, just like these, there's A, B, and C type quarterbacks, right? Jalen Hurts, is he going to be an A-lister down the road?
Boy, the jury's still out on that, right?
Yeah.
I have to see more. I mean, look, he had an MVP type of season this year. I like the kid. I like him a lot. I mean, look, even in college, the kid was a winning quarterback, and sometimes we lose sight of that it factor. He has that. He doesn't wow you with his passing numbers, but he still gets the job done. He went to Alabama. He was a starter there. He got pulled from a national championship game in favor of Tua, which Alabama won. The following year, he ends up being the backup to Tua, transfers to Oklahoma, and gets Oklahoma to the college football playoffs. So I would say at this venture, he's trending in the right direction in regards to what you just said, Ron. But can we list him as an A-list quarterback over the long haul? I have to see more.
Yeah.
This season, absolutely. So
no, that's a great answer. And the thing is, when I look at Philadelphia, they're a team. Like, they do everything well as a team. So is Kansas City. I think we do have the two best teams in the Super Bowl. As much as I would love to have seen Buffalo in there, because obviously I'm a Bills fan. But I think we're in for a good treat this week.
If I could interject just
for sure. Go ahead.
I mean, I have to respectfully disagree with you on the pick. I just think that Philadelphia is better on both sides of the ball. And I know a lot of people think of Kansas City as that dynamic offense, and they are. I mean, if you look at statistically and analytically, they're number one in scoring, I believe, and number one in total offense. However, Travis Kelce is banged up. They really don't feature the running game. And when they do, Isaiah Pacheco seems to be, and I'll cover that in our props bet, seems to be coming on. But, the loss of Tyreek Hill, there's no longer – you look at Philadelphia's top three receivers, they're starting wide receivers, and you compare that to Kansas City, and you'd be hard-pressed to say any one of Kansas City's wide receivers right now are as good as any of the three that Philadelphia puts on the field. And their running game, Jalen Hurts is an added dimension in the running game, right? They backed off a little bit with him because of his shoulder injury. Also, you look at the two running backs from Philadelphia, Gainwell and Miles Sanders. They have a better running game, and their defense you're talking about a defense that sacked the quarterback 70 times this year. Ironically enough, the second best team sacking the quarterback is a far second, but it's Kansas City at 55. And I don't think a lot of people realize that too. But I absolutely love Philadelphia in this spot. I really do. Yeah, that's okay. We disagree.
Oh, hey, you know what? The season I had this year, I'm almost tempted to go with you.
No, don't do that.
I'm kidding. But I got Kansas City. But like I said this early in the show, we've been doing this a long time. There's years where I've won championships and contests, and then there's other years like wow, it just got beat up. It just this year I got beat up pretty good this year at the beginning. But then I did an adjustment. Then I finished pretty well. But going into the Super Bowl props, Ross, what do you like going into this weekend?
Yeah, I'm usually not a props guy, but there seems to be a big demand. The younger people out there, when you look at the demographics of the 20s and 30s, and I don't know how many discussions you had with sportsbook managers. I've had a couple. That seems to be some of the most popular trends amongst people in that age demographic. So I said, well, let me take a look at these. And look, Philadelphia has allowed 290 yards or less or more passing, only one time in 19 games. and that was 304 yards to Dallas. Yet here we have Patrick Mahomes' is over and under win total in terms of passing yards is 292.5. So I'm going to go under 292.5 yards passing for Patrick Mahomes. And I think you're going to see Kansas City run the ball much more than we're used to seeing in this game. And the reason being, Ron, is when you have that ferocious pass rush of Philadelphia that's, like I alluded to, leads the league with 70 sacks, you have to slow it down in some capacity. And if Philadelphia has a slight weakness, you can run the ball on them at times. And I think that's going to be a key component here. And as a result, I'm going to go under that passing total of 292.5 for Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, that's you know what? Belichick gave the best blueprint there a couple of years ago. Less pass rushers and more in protection, in the coverage. We'll see what Sirianni has blueprinted for defense this weekend. And it forced, like, the thing I used to get frustrated with Mahomes is that obviously he's not a pocket passer, but he seems to do all his damage after like two steamboats. Yeah, exactly. Right. Once he's out of the pocket and he's moving, and then he becomes Houdini. But you mentioned Pacheco, and I saw this morning there was a prop for the game MVP, and since I'm going with Kansas City, I saw Pacheco at 40-1, and I said, you know what? That's a pretty good prop right there. So that's my prop going into this game, Pacheco at 40-1.
Yeah, so Pacheco also, the over and under on rushing attempts for Pacheco in this game is 11.5. You look at his workload from game 9 on, basically the second half of the season, it's gone up considerably when comparing it to the first 8 games of the season for the Chiefs. I mean, during the last 11 Kansas City games, Pacheco's averaging 13.5 rushing attempts per game. This goes hand in hand to why I like Mahomes' passing yards to go under 292.5, as I think the Kansas City, like I said, is going to run the ball much more than people expect in this game. They'll still have more passing attempts than rushing attempts, but at 11.5, I think Isaiah Pacheco, and it goes hand in hand with your long shot bet on him being the MVP. I mean, I think we're going to see him get anywhere from 15 to 16 carries, somewhere around there in this game. So I'm going over 11.5 carries for Isaiah Pacheco in this game.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. All right.
And I have one more, Ron.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
And also, the combined sack totals in this game, the over and under is 5.5. I actually have 2 more. These teams rank 1-2 in sacks, as I alluded to. Philly with 70, Kansas City with 55. Philly was also, despite the fact that they have one of the more mobile quarterbacks in football in Jalen Hurts, they were number 20 in sacks allowed as well. And like I alluded to, Kansas City gets a lot of criticism for not being a Super Bowl type defense, just a Super Bowl type offense. But one thing they do very well and have done right down the stretch is rush the passer. So I'm going to go with over 5.5 sacks combined between the two teams in this game. And then my other one, the over and under for Mahomes rushing attempts is 4.5. Now, we know that Patrick Mahomes is not only a great passer and not only improvisationally wise, able to create with his arm, but by the same token, he's rushed 5 or more times in a game, only 3 times in 19 contests this year. And now you got a quarterback that Andy Reid will tell you is 100%. Me and you been around for a while, Ron. You've been a football coach at a high level. You know high ankle sprains are much different than a regular ankle sprain. The recovery time is a lot longer. And yes, I believe that he's much improved from when he initially got injured, but I don't think he's anywhere near 100%. I don't see Andy Reid calling any design runs for the quarterback in this game. He very rarely does anyway. It's mostly Mahomes taking off because the defense is playing man-to-man and there's nobody open, and it leaves the middle of the field wide open for running attempts. But I think he's going to really err on the side of caution because he knows if he goes out of the game, Kansas City's chances of winning this contest is going to vastly decrease if he leaves the game. With no offense to the backup quarterback there, but I'm going to go under 4.5 carries for Patrick Mahomes again. Patrick Mahomes over and under at 292.5 passing yards. I'm going under. Patrick Mahomes over and under 4.5 rush attempts. I'm going under. Isaiah Pacheco over and under 11.5 rush attempts. I'm going over. And the combined sacks for this game over and under is 5.5. I'm going over 5.5 sacks combined between these two teams in this game. There you have it.
Yeah. Hey, Chris Jones might just have half those.
Yeah. Frank Clark, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kansas City, I mean, everything's being made of Philly's pass rush, but Kansas City's pass rush is pretty good in their own right, Ron.
Well, in the first half, you couldn't keep Chris Jones out of the backfield in the AFC Championship game. That's Joe Burrow.
He can be dominant. I think he's one of the most underrated pass rushers in all of football because it gets swept under the rug because of their offensive prowess.
Yeah, exactly. When you think Kansas City, you think of the offense, and you're right. Looking at the rushing for the Mahomes, in week 15 against Houston, 5 rushes. Other than that, was all below that. Yeah, so that's
only 3 times he's gone over five or more rushing attempts. So.
Yeah, no, that is a good one right there.
Yeah.
All right. What's that?
Yeah, and then with you mix in the high ankle sprain. Yes, maybe he's 90%, maybe he's 95%. I'll go out on a limb and say he's not 100. Now, Andy Reid said he's 100% when it comes to our game plan, which the game plan obviously is not going to include him running the ball on design runs. So the game plan is him throwing when he throws the ball. He's going to be able to have some mobility in the pocket, but I don't think it includes. I mean, any game plan doesn't include a quarterback taking off when nobody else is open.
Yeah,
and he's very good at throwing the ball away as well. So
he's. Here's the other thing that people maybe not talk about. Like if Hurts or Mahomes don't finish the game, now you're talking Gardner Minshew and Chad Henne, right? Everybody's talking the big game with those guys. Do we include maybe some of the backups into the props?
Well, I mean, here's what I would say. Yeah, like I said, if Mahomes goes out of the game, Kansas City's chances of winning it decrease. Well, the same thing applies to Jalen Hurts as well.
Yeah.
Both of these guys come in banged up. Jalen Hurts with his shoulder. He hasn't looked like the same passer since that injury. I mean, you could do a lot worse for backups than Chad Henne and Gardner Minshew.
Yeah.
I think both quarterbacks are capable of stepping in and possibly taking their team to victory. But let's hope that doesn't happen. Because we want the best players on the field. Yeah,
we're gamblers, so we're always thinking about
no doubt.
Here's the thing: if say Gardner Minshew or Chad Henne has to go in. Now it changes the philosophy on offense, and because in a Super Bowl situation like this, everybody's thinking the same, consistently the same thing, right? When they think of the props. So now you got to does that change a little bit of the philosophy in other props, right? That your long shot props that you throw some beer and pizza money on.
Yeah, I mean, and Minshew too. If he has to come into the game, you lose the element of design runs by the quarterback. All of a sudden, you don't have to worry about that. Chad Henne comes into the game. You lose the ability of the improvisational skills of Patrick Mahomes, who we've seen scramble behind the line of scrimmage for 7-8 seconds sometime and then make unbelievable throws. So it adds to a whole different dynamic. And again,
Nope. Did I lose you, Ross? Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but glad you're back. Yeah, so no, it's gonna be fun. It's always fun, right? It's Super Bowl. It's also sad because it's the last game of the year.
Yeah,
we always gotta feel what it's like the week before the Super Bowl. The honey list comes out and
yeah, exactly.
But,
there we go. You can't use the excuse with the wife anymore that you're bogged down.
Exactly. But the
even though
is,
I'm a big basketball handicapper, that. So I had, I know you don't do a lot of college basketball, but you do NBA. When you start looking at a college basketball board on a Saturday, I start looking at it on Friday afternoon because if you don't have your picks up by Friday night, the games on Saturdays start at 12.
Oh, yeah, the line moves so quickly, too.
Yeah. So, by the way, Ron, make sure to take a look at them college basketball lines. Make sure they're up.
Yeah, no,
if you can.
I already talked to Purdue about that. Yeah, for sure, buddy. All right. So let me see here. What else that's about it. Now, if people want to get Ross, the boss's college basketball picks or football picks for this weekend, how can they do that?
ATSstats.com at your site, or they can come to my site, rbwins.com. But folks, look at. If you're watching this show, you're watching it because Ron's the host. I'm on his site. I'm on his podcast. I want you to go to atsstats.com to buy them. You can go to my site. That's fine. But I would be remiss if I didn't mention that as a professional courtesy. All sports picks, 71 and 52 with my last 123. That's good for 58%. Also on a 139 and 111 run with my last 250 in all sports run, documented, plus $15,880 for dime bettors during that course of time. My college basketball totals since the end of last year, 24 and 10 with my last 34. That's good for 72%. In college basketball since November 17th of this year, 62 and 47. That's good for around 57%. A lot of people, as we both know, will say I could do that on my own. Well, good luck. If you get in 57% over the last 109 picks in college basketball, maybe you should be doing what me and Ron do. But during that course of time, my dime bettors anyway, are up over $10,000 with my college basketball picks. NBA, 17 and 11 with my last 28, 61%.
Yeah.
So, a lot of good things going on at ATS Stats. Just because football season ends, folks, there's a lot of money to be made. And don't forget, we're just a few weeks away from March Madness, the NCAA tournament, conference tournaments, the NIT, the CBI, CIT, and then the NBA playoffs following after that. So a lot of opportunities to make good money in college basketball and the NBA, besides just the NFL and college football.
Yeah, and unlike the stock market, we're open on the weekends. Hey?
We don't close.
We don't close. Hey? Yeah. We're like 7-Eleven. We're open 24/7. Awesome. All right, Ross. Also, since we're only going once a week, and your cult following wants to follow you, you also got another podcast you do with some of the guys, and you can tell the guys where they can find you each and every day.
It's the OSGA YouTube channel. That's OSGA YouTube channel. It's the Offshore Gaming Association, which Ron is familiar with.
Yep.
That's soon to be changed to Gamblers World because Jim is being more friendly now, I should say, with the U.S. sports books, because that's the way to go and the legalities involved.
Yep.
Great handicappers on that show, as well as Jesse Schul from used to be with Covers.com, now with me over at Sports Memo and Picks and Parlays, JesseSchul.com. Also, Doug Upstone of DocSports.com, and Sean Higgs of PicksandParlays.net, who's coming off a fabulous NFL season. By the way, folks, we have a Super Bowl prop show that we just recorded yesterday. All of our videos are right on archive there, and getting close to 9,000 subscribers over the last couple of years. So, I mean, the channel continues to grow, and there's a lot of good content Monday through Friday. Again, I would ask you people who do go there to subscribe. It costs you absolutely nothing. And give us a like at the end of the video, as well as this one. You
Absolutely.
know, it doesn't take us. It's just a small token of your appreciation, folks, because we sell picks for a living.
Yep.
We're doing this to more or less, it's an hors d'oeuvre, right? If you like the hors d'oeuvre, you go in and you order an entree.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's exactly what we're doing here. So
yeah, no fast food windows here, eh? We sit down for the meal. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Have yourself a great weekend, and we'll see you back here next Thursday on the Raymond Report with Ross the Boss Benjamin. Have a good one, buddy.
Ross or Ron, always a pleasure to be on your show. I thank you for having me.
All right, thank you. All right, that's Ross Benjamin. Again, you can find Ross here every Thursday on the Raymond Report, and Ross liked a lot of props, and we're going the opposite way, so one of us is going to have some bragging rights on Monday. We'll see which one is it. All right, speaking of bragging rights, you know what time it is. Hey, where's my AI? There we go.
We're talking about practice. Not a game. We're talking about practice. Practice, man. I mean, how silly is that?
No, it's not silly at all, AI, because we're talking about the 80% club stats, and these are the stats you can get here each and every day at atsstats.com. All right, let's take a look at some of these ones here. The Atlanta Hawks, 13-2 as a home team, coming off an away loss as an underdog the last 2 years. You can get that right here at ATS. The Suns, 12-2 as a away team, month of February, the last 3 years. And the over, 10-2 for the Orlando Magic as a home team versus a non-conference opponent this season. And let's go take a look at some of the old 80% club stats in the NHL. This is the NHL. I love these ones here. These are all good. If you like the Seattle Kraken tonight on the puck line, anytime Seattle's a road team, last 2 years coming off a loss, and it was a road loss as an underdog, 10-0 on the puck line. And Colorado also on the puck line, looking good as a road team versus non-conference opponent, 1 day's rest, coming off an under, and they scored 1 goal or less for in their last game, 15-2 to the puck line. All right, there you have it. That is the show here for today. It's a 1 hour show. You can find us here each and every day at atsstats.com or on our YouTube channel. That's where we come and do the show each and every Thursday, 10:30 Eastern. And if you missed the live show, don't forget, you can catch the replay just by visiting our website. All right, there you have it. Have yourself a great rest of your weekend. And as tradition, Harry Carey, take us away. Oh, Harry Carey is not there. All right, we'll have to go to the intro. All right. Have yourself a good one, and we'll catch you back here on the flip side. Cheers.